had my first son back in 2018. And for him, I think my breastfeeding journey was very short. It was probably about 2 weeks. I think I was just overwhelmed. I definitely, as a program manager for the perinatal mood disorder program, I was a survivor of postpartum depression with my son. So I was very overwhelmed with feeding him and just with adjusting to parenthood in general. So I switched to bottles with him pretty quickly. It was just easier for my mental health. I had my daughter in 2020, and I was way more prepared just from being not a first-time parent anymore, and then also just from having more support in terms of lactation support, a better provider, etc. So I was able to feed her actually exclusively nursing for, I think that was like 18 months, so a way longer breastfeeding journey. And also keep in mind that this was COVID, so there wasn't too much else to do. So, things were closed, working from home, all that made it a little bit easier too. And then I just had my third kiddo back in November, and so far everything's going pretty smoothly. But once again, I have a lot of support from, family, from lactation support and all that. Combo feeding a little bit more, so she takes bottles pretty easily. So that's been going well also. So this baby has been the most flexible out of the three of them in terms of bottles and things like that, which is super nice. It works really well for our family. With my second kid, I knew by, like a month or so after having her that I needed to get out of the house and go and do something, because I had, at that time, he was 20 months old. So he was a toddler. He needed to get out of the house. So I decided I was going to attempt to go to the zoo with the two of them by myself, which seems super intimidating, but I decided, I'm going to try it. I'm going to pack enough snacks to feed probably everyone at the zoo, and we're going to figure it out. So we did. We used the stroller. I was able to figure out how to nurse her and keep him contained in the stroller. I just was like throwing fruit snacks at him while I'm like nursing, and to my surprise and delight, people were really nice. So I was like very self-conscious about, people watching or like criticizing me for having to nurse like while I was at the zoo or whatever. So I'm sitting here on this bench like all nervous, and people were really nice. People were nodding and smiling and waving and like engaging with my toddler and kind of keeping him distracted. So people were really supportive and kind, which I would have never known if I hadn't gone out and just tried it. And definitely there were some snafus while we were there. I know at one point she got super fussy, and I remember being like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? But we figured it out and learned some lessons, and it was a good memory. My son talked about it for a while afterwards. So, and now I can use that story, when other parents either ask me, oh, how do you go out and do those kinds of things with a nursing, when you're nursing your baby, I can give them that example or any number of things, because that was empowering. That made me able to go out and do similar other like day trips with him on my own, or even just doing little things like going to the grocery store and being like, oh, what if she gets hungry in the store? You don't know that you could just nurse her before and then nurse her afterwards. It takes all 20 minutes to go in and shop, but you don't know until you try. So the other important thing that I tell a lot of new parents is comparison isn't your friend. Between social media and the picture perfect parent that it looks like everybody might be on the outside, even when you're interacting with your own friends or family that might have kids, it can be really easy to think that everybody has it together, but none of us do. And we're all doing a guessing game. We're all doing this trial and error type of a thing. We're all out of our comfort zone a little bit, when managing it. I still even am, sometimes my kids throw me for a loop, even if I've got 3 of them. I still get taken by surprise sometimes and don't know what to do. And I think it's important to remember that none of us know what we're doing, even if it looks like it on the outside. I mean, joys would be, the feeling of bonding, the feeling of you're doing something for your kiddo that is just, it's between you and them. It's very, it's a nice way to bond with your kiddo. Challenges it's honestly the same thing. It can be a little bit challenging to be the sole source of food. So that was definitely challenging with my middle kid. So I think finding a middle ground is really the best thing. The first thing is delegating. Anything that doesn't involve a kid latched onto you can be given to somebody else to do, whether it's having your other kids do it, having your partner do it, having extended family do it, paying somebody else to do it. The more that you can give to other people to do, it doesn't mean that you couldn't do it or that you're not that you're a failure or something like that. It just means you're managing a house. It's what managers do too, right? You manage, in your job, and you give things to other people to do. So you do that as a parent too. So I think that's my number one tip in time management, or just having your hands full, is to delegate wherever you can. The other thing that I do, and that I think every parent will agree to, is you have to just give yourself grace and give yourself a little bit of slack. The house will be a disaster for eternity. Just until your kids are 18, I swear. Sometimes you'll make mistakes, and you just keep going, so just giving yourself a little bit of credit where credit is due, and allowing yourself, don't go hard on yourself when things don't go your way.